Our first speaker is the National Association of Realtors, NAR. I just had to get it out. 2020 first Vice President-elect. She's been a realtor for 35 years, a member of NAR's Board of Directors since 2009, and has served several years on the NAR Executive Committee. Let's give it up for our friend Leslie Rouda Smith.
Appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. It's such an honor to be here. And I'm really having a great time. Y'all have been so welcoming and so friendly. I want to introduce you to a group of people that are the volunteers and the staff of the National Association of Realtors who serve in our diversity and multicultural committees. And if you all would please stand, and I know Christian's not back there with them, but I don't know where. Most of them are back at that table. Where's Christian? I can't exactly see. Oh, he's over there. So all of you stand up, please, and be recognized. We thank you all so much for all of your hard work. And Fred Underwood, the one that keeps it all together. I think I'm supposed to have a teleprompter rolling here, unless you want me to wing it, which I'm good at. You what?
It's right here.
All right. Oh, okay. I thought it was that one. Okay. So anyway, we're past that part. And I also want to thank Jeff Berger. It's amazing what you have done to grow this from the ground up. And I'm proud of what you've done. And I know the National Association of Realtors is as well. So thank you, Jeff. And also to your directors, Janice, Bruce, and Eric, thank you too for all the work that you put into it, along with the rest of you. I know there are a lot of you that volunteer, so it couldn't be what it is today if all of you didn't help make it that. You know, we are at a time in our world where 21 states and the District of Columbia have laws that prohibit housing discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity. And only one other state, Wisconsin, prohibits discrimination related to sexual orientation. I want to assure you this. NAR stands firmly with the LGBTQ community across the country on the critical issue of equality. At NAGLREP's Policy Summit in April, NAR's chief economist, Shannon McGann, confirmed that gender identity and sexual orientation continue to be an NAR legislative priority. But I also want you to know that I stand firmly with you. We are all equal. We are all part of the same race, the human race. Unfortunately, thanks. Unfortunately, and I hope I don't get choked up, but unfortunately, I've seen firsthand the challenges faced by the LGBT community. My brother, who is gay, watched 13 of his friends die in 12 months, and he told me almost all of them only had friends by their sides with no family to support them because they didn't believe in their so-called choice in life. Our daughter Kristen's first girlfriend was from an extremely conservative family. And of course, it was our daughter's fault that their daughter was gay. Her parents were not supportive of her, but I wanted to make sure that my husband and I supported her and that she knew that. So we kind of were the other kind of parents, and still to this day, my daughter's engaged to another awesome young lady, and they're getting married next year. But it just breaks my heart to see friends of mine and what they've gone through. I grew up as a dancer, so I've worked with a lot of gay people, and y'all are amazing human beings, and you make the greatest friends. So big kudos to all of you. For more than 50 years, fair housing has protected the American dream for millions of people in this country, breaking down the walls of discrimination that once restricted the fundamental right of property ownership for some Americans. But there's a gap in the civil rights laws. While federal laws protect people from discrimination based on race, religion, sex, disability, familial status, there are no federal laws explicitly prohibiting discrimination based on sexual orientation or gender identity. NAR was extremely pleased to see the Equality Act pass the House of Representatives in May. Yes, This bill would protect those in the LGBTQ community from discrimination in housing and in the workplace. And it would expand public accommodation protections, such as in retail stores and banks, to prohibit discrimination. Without these laws, anyone who is the target of discrimination based on orientation or gender identity has little recourse. The Equality Act's passage represents an important milestone. It was the first time the legislation has received a full vote from either chamber of Congress. Next, the bill must pass the Senate. Even if this seems like an uphill battle, I can assure you NAR will continue to fight for equality, for housing for all. After all, thanks. After all, the National Association of Realtors has led the way on this issue. We have been way ahead of federal law. In fact, we amended our Code of Ethics in 2011 to ensure that we had equal professional service and equal workplace protection regardless of sexual orientation. In 2013, we banned discrimination based on gender identity. That took effect January 1st of 2014. I know you heard yesterday about the horrible incident that happened in Georgia a few weeks ago, in which a member of this group had his real estate yard sign defaced with a despicable slur. When NAGLREP contacted the Georgia Association to let them know about this incident, the association quickly issued a formal statement signed by its president and their entire leadership team denouncing the crime and supporting the LGBTQ community. It was absolutely the right thing for that association to do. And it came about because of you, because of your involvement. Where would we be without the passion to do what is right and the commitment to doing what is right? I think of Wayne Woodyard, when the former president of the Orange County Association of Realtors heard Congressman Dana Rohrabacher imply that refusing to sell a home to gays and lesbians is okay. He said, no, it's not, and it's not. Wayne worked with NAGLREP and NAR to see that RPAC dropped its support for Rohrabacher, and he went on to lose his reelection. So I'm going to say this guy's name, and then I'm going to probably call him Mr. O or Jim because it's not an easy name to say. I also think of Jim Obergefell from Ohio, which is actually my home state where I was born and raised, but I am a Texan now. He was a realtor that he sought to be recognized as the surviving spouse on his husband's death certificate. He took his quest all the way to the Supreme Court along with plaintiffs from 4 other states. And the case, Obergefell versus Hodges, established marriage equality as the law of the land. Yes. And now Obergefell's name is forever a part of LGBTQ community and the history of the LGBTQ community. When all Americans are treated equal, no matter who they are, no matter who they love, we are more free. And that's what former President Barack Obama said a year before the Obergefell decision. The commitment and courage of Mr. O and Wayne Woodyard remind me of something the actress Ellen Page once said. It's increasingly clear to me we need to use our influence, whatever it might be, to help others. Truer words were never spoken. Whatever our level of influence, all of us have a role in bringing about change. I encourage you to get involved with your local associations, contribute to RPAC, get involved in joint committees, and help educate others. If you want to see change at your board, at NAR, in government, please get involved. And I encourage you to keep at it. And if we try something and we don't succeed, we must keep trying to cross the hurdle. At the national level, I'm proud to note one of our strategic priorities for 2020 is collaborating for positive impact on housing equality and affordability. We have an opportunity and an obligation to help drive the conversation about homeownership and ensure that every person who wants it has the opportunity to not only achieve it, but to sustain homeownership. Although much work towards this goal remains, NAR continues to engage with policymakers and congressional leaders in our effort to secure the strongest, most inclusive, and most economically vibrant real estate industry possible. Please feel free to email me at narpresident@nar.realtor and share any suggestions that you may have on how the Realtor organization can be more inclusive. Don't worry, I know what you're thinking. I'm not the president yet. I have to wait a few years. But in the meantime, John Schmaby, our current president, offered graciously to share his inbox. So that's because we want you to know that John, myself, and the entire leadership team of the National Association of Realtors are listening. We hear you, we want to keep hearing from you, and we continue to stand by you in this very important fight. Thanks again for having me.
That's the president, y'all. Wow, she showed up here. I will graciously share my inbox as well. Why do they keep hiring me?